Hi and welcome to Cryptosis. My name's Rusty G. It's been quite a long while, and well, if you didn't know already, we ditched the stocks. We just couldn't deal with it. We found Shane. It's been a long pilgrimage. He's even cleaned up a little bit. We'll get more into those details as the show gets started. But my name's Rusty G. Welcome back to Cryptosis. And to my left and or right, depending on how you want to look at it, Cory. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'll be doing better once my cloud stops updating, and that'll be fantastic. Also, I won $1,000 in Bitcoin since our last show, so that's been pretty great.
Yeah, we'll talk to you about that here in a minute. I got words with you on that one. Shane, welcome back to the real world. Did you find what you were looking for on your pilgrimage?
Very much, very much. I actually did come up to your neck of the woods for a little bit. Spent a weekend up there away from
Yeah,
party, a wedding and stuff. So I've been away a lot traveling and just been super busy. But things are slowing down, coming back around to getting back to crypto. So
yeah, it's actually been fairly up for the last week and a half or so. I would say everything's been green on my side, and watching everything surge up for the most part. All of my stuff has been going positive, so I'm excited to see. So we've been gone for almost a month, not a whole month, but for a little while. It's been crazy. The crypto scene has been quiet for the most part, but let's dive into Cory's real quick, just because his story is just amazing in what he did. So Cory, tell us what you did with this faucet.
Well, first thing is first. I just want to let everybody know if you're watching this, try to watch it on the Brave browser. It's going to block all your ads, and we recommend just using Brave all the time. It's a fantastic browser, and it helps you contribute to other people, and they give you free Brave tokens occasionally. They're supposed to re-up that, so if you've already got it downloaded, keep an eye out. You're going to get some free Brave tokens.
also,
Of course, you won't be able to pull them out yourself unless you create your own channel, kind of like this, and then you can kind of watch your own stuff and get it yourself. But back to the original thing. We're wanting to know how I got the $1,000. Well, there's a little website called Free Bitcoin. I did a little video about it last week, and you can go on there, and they have a faucet. Usually, it pays out like 12 Satoshi or something, which is terrible. And you get that once an hour, but you can put money in there. You put your Bitcoin in there, and they pay you 4% APR. Well, I had like $180 worth of Bitcoin sitting around. Figured I'd throw it in there to gain the interest. And I was kind of bored, so I figured I'd go on there and play the little high load. Well, I went on there, and I did a few of the one Satoshi bets. I was winning pretty well. And then I answered a text, and I came back, and I did it a few more times, but I didn't realize what I'd done. I'd hit max bet. So I bet my entire account, which was like $180 worth. And I did that like 15 times. But I actually won a whole bunch of those times. And I brought my account up to like $1,300.
Wow, this guy just random luck, just pushing buttons like at a slot machine, walking away with an extra $1,000 in his pocket, basically, or $1,100 if you went from 200 to 1,300. Yeah, just random luck.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the best thing that's happened to me. I mean, I'm going to have to buy a new freaking air conditioner because my air conditioner went out at the house. My car is turning to shit. So, I mean, at least I got Bitcoin.
So, Shane, what have
and
you...
the market's up. So the market's going up. That's great too.
So, Shane, since Cory won his extra $1,000 in Bitcoin, what have you been doing in your pilgrimage and or as of late?
well, I was working on the house and kind of getting some projects done that I need to do in real life, so that when crypto came back around, I could put that aside and get back to it. But I haven't won $1,000. Not like that, anyway. It's not that easily. I played for a little bit because I was like, hey, let's get back into it. Let's bet some more money, and I'm not doing that anymore. That's such a terrible idea. I can't get as lucky as Cory. I told him he should play the lottery. I don't think he did.
Yeah, but I will say we were talking on my way home before we did the live show, and we were talking about how trading is a little bit different for you now. We will talk about trades from time to time, depending on, whatever it is. But trading for me in particular, trading is more of an afterthought every other week, maybe kind of sort of when I think about it, when one seems to be down, one seems to be up, this, that, and the other. Trading has gotten a lot different for you here recently, hasn't it?
Of course, yep. I've pretty much moved 100% into altcoins now. So since everything's kind of coming around, I'm into altcoins pretty hard. So hopefully I can increase that Bitcoin quantity. And I have done pretty well. My portfolio is up by about 35% over the past week. So look at it now. Whoops. Yeah, I'm up about 30% or so. On one exchange, I'm up by 200%. So that's even better. But
Speaking of exchanges, we all have this app, and there is an exchange waiting to happen, and it is still sitting. Mine's at like 100. Somebody's is at like 120. Somebody else is like 130. We're waiting for the exchange to happen. How's everybody's ETN, aka Electronium mining, going?
Well, it's passive, so I mean, I just don't worry about it. I mean, it's going to show up eventually. If it doesn't show up, then like nothing bad happened. But if you get some, that's great, and if you don't, it's whatever. But it's free, and it's basically using up nothing, next to nothing of power on your phone. And I've gotten, let's see, if what hasn't gone into my wallet. And what is in my wallet, I have around 200 ETN right now. I think they're trading around like what, 2-3 cents, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sitting at 329 right now.
Yeah, I hate
the thing. So the issue that I started noticing was that you guys were mining technically at a lower hash rate than I was. I was almost double what you guys were doing, but I wasn't pulling the same amount. So I've updated my phone again, not to Oreo yet, but just to the last update for Nougat. So it looks like it's doing a little better. It's holding pretty consistently around 50 hash per second now. But the thing about Monero, yeah, shut up. The thing about Electroneum was that it's a fork off of Monero, and
30.
Yeah, well,
you can't. Well, it's not focusing, but it's at 30, and you're getting 50. I hate you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hate you.
So the thing was though is that their network got pretty crowded a couple of weeks ago. So they, at the beginning, we were transferring over 10 ETN per at a time. So when you mine 10, it would transfer over to your wallet. Well, they've kind of shut that down for now, and from what I've been reading, they're planning on bumping that up to 20 or 50 maybe. But I'm not really worried about it because they forked off of Monero, and they're taking the time to actually develop their blockchain so that when they run into issues like this, they'll be able to solve things faster as they learn about the blockchain themselves as they go. So I'm not really worried about it. If it pays off, it pays off. If not, I'm not really wasting battery because it's just hashing the CPU. It's not really actually mining, so I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, I do want to be clear. It even says in the app that you're not actually mining. I would say this is closer to another faucet without having to play. It's just like Cory's free Bitcoin, or not Cory's, but the idea that Cory was talking about with free Bitcoin. It's just an app that's running on your phone that's not really doing anything but just collecting free ETN, which is great because, yeah, I've gotten close to 200 now between what's in my wallet, what's mined already, and then what's on KuCoin, which I swapped 90 of it over to KuCoin to go ahead and have that sitting there ready to trade for whenever I'm ready to do that. So interesting. I think it's kind of funny because, here we are sitting at, I'm now over 100 sitting in my mining efforts, as it were. So I just consider it a faucet at this point. So
Well,
um,
hopefully, whenever. So I think a lot of the idea behind most of these companies is that you don't release information when Bitcoin's low, because that's kind of a bad time. Because if people are comparing it to Bitcoin, Bitcoin's really low. They value your blockchain low as well. So I think as Bitcoin goes back up, you're going to see things like Electronium say, "Hey, by the way, we just did this big thing, so our coin's way up now." So I'm hoping within the next few weeks there will be something that comes out, assuming Bitcoin can break 9,000.
yeah, speaking of other coins, Corey, we were.
Wait, one quick thing before we go away from this. I think it's great that they were able to. That what they're doing is they're kind of paying you to help keep the network alive. I mean, you could run a node on your computer, or you can mine from your computer to help keep the network alive for Bitcoin. But this is just like a node that's running on your phone, and it's a full node helping process all the transactions and stuff through the ETN network. And I think it's a great idea, and it's barely using up any any of your power.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you said it great earlier. It's next to nothing, and you're just getting free ETN coin valued at, 2 to 3 cents, whatever it is right now, that you can just take over to whatever trading platform that they're approved on, and then trade away and do whatever you want to with it after that point.
Well,
So,
their idea is that they want to get away from computer mining. They want to go to be able to have something they can use cell phones with. That's why they want to go nationwide. So they're stress testing their network now and seeing, hey, we've got an issue with our blockchain, so we have to improve it. We have to improve the scalability so that we can ramp this up when it goes worldwide. They're talking to investors. Investors are seeing that, you get 70,000 mobile miners working, but your network can't handle it. So it's pretty cool.
yeah, and that's one thing that we always say: research the project that you're going to get into. Whatever you're going to value your time at, whatever you're going to value and put your time into, research before you start buying. So this is one of those things that you have to look into, but not much research is needed when all you got to do is download an app and turn it on and leave it running. And especially thank you, Corey, for showing us how to lock the app so that it continues to run all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, and in case y'all decide to get into it, if you're on the Oreo update, like the newest Android, whenever you hit your menu button, there'll be 3 little dots at the top, and it'll allow you to lock it, automatically close out on you, and you can go back in there. I recommend checking it still about 2-3 times a day, because occasionally it will stop mining, and you'll have to go in there because the system thinks it's running too much of your energy out of your phone. Another project that we were looking at, though, since we're kind of talking about keeping networks alive, is Substranium. Wait, did I say that right? Substratium? Substratum. Okay. So what they're doing is, sorry, I can't even remember these names, man. They come up with all similar, but they're all different. But what they're wanting to do is have like a decentralized web hosting, something kind of like Wix or something like that, and they're going to be all decentralized. So you'll download one of their nodes on your computer, and they'll pay you Substratium tokens to keep that alive. I keep screwing that up, right? But
Substratum.
They'll pay you the sub tokens. I'm just going to call it sub, because that's what it is. SUB. They'll pay you the sub tokens to keep the node alive, and it keeps their decentralized network up.
With Substratum,
go ahead.
With Substratum, their idea is that they want to be an internet service provider. But rather than doing it off towers and having a big network that they can monitor and stuff, it's going to be on a blockchain. So you'll be connecting between nodes, different computers that are hosted around the world, to where you can access web pages like Facebook or CoinMarketCap or whatever, just like you can with an ISP. But it's on a blockchain, so you can't monitor what goes on the same as you can with an ISP. There's a lot of benefits to that. Say if you live in China, for example, and you don't have access to Facebook, Substratum is going to be a great alternative. The problem is that what happens when you get child porn on the network?
Yeah, and we saw that with the most recent news about they were finding child porn in the blockchain for Bitcoin, I believe it was. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was links to it. There wasn't any pictures or anything like that.
So
But I mean, somebody could have somebody could have links in an Excel file on their freaking Google Drive. Are they going to take down Google?
yeah,
No.
yeah, the links are links to the internet, the interwebs. Like, are you going to take down the internet? No, but it's going to be interesting to see how they fight that battle, because that's, the idea about it being about behind Substratum being, decentralized, is that this stuff can occur, but do we want it to occur?
It reminds me of the whole what was the uh, Stand New York, or whenever we had the whole stock exchange thing, and they were against all the Wall Street, or Occupy Wall Street, Occupy insert your city. And during those, there was times when internet was having an issue, and there were guys that were going and creating sub networks by going through and getting those, almost like if you've ever gone into live streaming on a mobile version, the live views, where you can stick in a T-Mobile card, a Sprint card, a Verizon card, an AT&T card, whatever. You stick 4 or 5 networks together into one, and then you create a Wi-Fi hotspot off of all 4 networks being put together, and then you're creating a sub network that allows for that. So you're just sharing a different type of connection that's not the internet, but still decentralized, because you're able to access the internet through a different sub network. In that sense, that's what it reminds me of.
And just to be fair, I do own some Stratum. I'm up 50% right now, but I do own some Stratum, and we do own ETN. We're not being paid by them in any way, shape, or form. This is just us talking.
We're not. You guys can pay us. If you guys like started, Stratum or ETN, you guys give us some money if you want to. We will shill your shit if you like.
And we will also tell everybody that we're getting paid by them.
Yes.
Speaking of other altcoins, there is a fork coming up fairly soon, and Cory actually shared his personal recording about this with us, and I totally forgot to tell you guys. We should have all recorded our audio so we can have an audio version of this. I might be able to download it separately after the show is over, but you did a recording about the fork coming up, Cory. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So yeah, Bitcoin Cash is having a hard fork in I think it's May 15th was the date. And what they're doing is they're increasing their block size from 8 megabytes to 32 megabytes. And they're also going to be implementing smart contracts. I'm not 100% sure how that's going to work out, or how that's planned, but that's the big thing for that. So that's why we're seeing the big price increase on Bitcoin Cash right now, because people's wanting to get some of that fork cash when that comes out.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing my Bitcoin Cash go back to the $7 that it was when I first got it, but hey, it's at 5 something right now. So we'll see what happens there. Shane, do you have any Bitcoin Cash?
Oh yeah, I do. And I'm still a little down on it. I hodled like an idiot. Hodling is for idiots, by the way. I want to make that clear. So I've got a chart. I'm looking at the chart for Bitcoin Cash, and it's pretty interesting how Bitcoin Cash has stayed in bands, and it's created triangles. And every time those triangles have met, it's broke out or broke down. Typically broke up. And I actually almost entered a trade on Bitcoin Cash. I was talking to a friend who looks over stuff like this, does triangles and circles and squares, right, Cory?
Yeah.
And I showed her my lines, my triangles, and said, "Hey, look, this is interesting. I feel like this is going to break out." I didn't buy in. If I would have bought in, I would be at 50% up right now. So let's delete that. But I do have some BCH that I'm holding. I'm still not like sold on BCH, like taking over the world, because the Lightning Network's still coming. And I think there are more efficient ways of doing things, and I don't see the need for BCH, but it's my personal opinion.
Yeah, tell us about that, because we were talking about that on my way home. We were talking about the difference between the speed, because the whole purpose of Bitcoin Cash was to make the transactions faster, or I forget, I think it was the speed of the network, because Bitcoin was taking so long, and that's how Bitcoin Cash became a thing, because it's like, oh, we can do transactions a lot faster. and then now the Lightning Network. What's the difference?
So the idea is that you've got your main network, and you can now funnel around. So you're creating multiple paths of processing transactions. It's supposed to be instant, or if you're not funneling around, you're making the entire network one straight path that's instant. Increasing the block size is great, but if you don't have enough transactions to fill up that 32 megabytes, blocks, whatever you want to call them, like it's not really doing a whole lot for you other than saying, hey, we're still here. We have something. We've made a change. We've pushed an update. You should come buy more.
Speaking of other things that you need to come and buy, Cory has been off in gaming world looking into all sorts of games. He was talking about that on also. We spent the last hour apparently talking about these, and it was interesting. You were gaming with some goo, is that right?
Yeah, this one guy in our chat, he was talking about this game called Ether Goo, and it's kind of like an idle game where you'll buy these cats, and then they're like scientist cats, and they'll mine goo for you, and then the more goo you have, I guess you can sell them for ether. I really don't know the whole thing, how it all works yet, so I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. But apparently, I know you have to spend ether to verify the transactions because it is on the Ethereum blockchain. So anytime you want to do something, you have to go through the Ethereum blockchain and pay a little bit of the GUI gas price or whatever. And you can just do it with one, like the lowest transaction. And it's actually really fast. I'm surprised how fast the transactions are going through, because I know it had been congested for a long time, but apparently they've either found some workarounds or everybody's not using CryptoKitties quite as much anymore.
Speaking of crypto, I was getting as soon as you said the Ethereum network, I was thinking about Shane's cats. Because you also said the scientific cats or whatever, and I was like, Shane's CryptoKitties. We gotta see where Shane's CryptoKitties are. So Shane, can you give us an update on the CryptoKitties?
I'll look at them.
Because it, you know, not only have we not talked about it since like at the beginning of our show, like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, whatever it was, we haven't had an update. And I personally, in my circles, have not heard anything else about CryptoKitties since the original launch. So I never bought into it. You know, the whole purpose was to get people spending their Ethereum so that there was, you know, more broad use of Ethereum instead of people hodling or only trading for other coins or whatever. So I would be interested to see how your cats are doing.
My cats are still sleeping. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting there.
Did you put them into an eternal sleep?
I should have. The kitty goes night night. Forever.
Oh, that's awesome. So,
one thing I was talking about, you was talking about Monero for a little bit there. As you guys know, I was mining Monero on a computer, and I'd finally got enough to get my Monero out. I got to 0.3, so I got that out of there, and I started mining up again. I got to 0.01, I think, and I didn't realize it, but apparently they changed up all their stuff because somebody had figured out how to make an ASIC miner from Monero, and they didn't want that to happen, so they changed up all their coding and everything, and so my miner stopped working. So I went like a week or so before realizing I thought my miner had just died, but then I checked and my computer was still on. It's just the miner didn't work. It kept coming up with all these socket errors or something.
Was this your
computer?
I
got to figure out how to get that started back. I haven't done that yet. I've been putting that off. But
was this your computer?
Yeah, it's my computer.
Do you have access to it at all times?
Via the internet, I do.
He's not trying to call you out or anything as to where you're getting your electricity from.
I kind of pay for that electricity via my taxes.
We're gonna leave that right there.
Speaking of mining, as you can silence behind me, I quit my mining just as well for Ethereum because it was getting to the point where I could no longer just it, the electricity bill was 120, something like that I was paying. And I was only getting on average, and it dropped down to like $8 and $9 a week. And I was like, there's no use in doing it anymore. And so on a single miner by yourself with just a regular video card, I probably need to take the thing out and sell it, because I mean, when I go to Best Buy, my card is still over $500 at Best Buy, which just baffles me. So I'm pretty sure I could probably get my $300 back. But I've been trying to do the storage thing, storage.io. I believe, Cory, you got me in on this, but I can't seem to keep the storage.io connection alive so that my computer stays on. Like it goes to sleep constantly, so it never stays on. So I don't know if it's because I thought that if I left the service running, it would be constantly pinging the internet and then therefore would keep my computer on, but apparently it doesn't. And so storage,
you just need to go into your Windows settings and set it to where it won't go into sleep while it's plugged in or whatever.
Yeah, it's probably what I need to do. It's just, plus for some odd reason, I was trying to reformat a micro SD card, and the micro SD card came from my and for some odd reason, the drone has locked it. I don't know how to get it unlocked, and I can't format the disk. So I've been trying all sorts of tools to reformat that disk. And now storage.io, the service doesn't see my hard drive anymore at the place that it used to. So now I've got to figure out how in the world to get it back to the first drive letter that it was in the first place, or just stick another drive in there that eventually gets back to that drive letter, so I can, or just reset storage altogether, whatever. That's another side thing that I haven't paid attention to. So that's free money there just by leaving your computer running and, letting people store onto your hard drive. So either here nor there, but what's the next story? I see a couple things here that we could go into, but I don't know which one to pick out next.
Just so you know, Rusty, like I was telling you before, mining with a video card is gone. Like that ship has sailed. Like the calculations are way too tough now for basic video cards. ASIC miners and stuff are killing it. I've got a buddy who just purchased a few of them, and he's doing some testing, and I'm waiting to see some of his results, give him a little more time. And, I might buy a couple in the future, but they're loud, they're clanky. You have to run 220 for them. And, I'll have to figure that out before I do invest. But, video card mining, like I had said before, it's done. It's gone.
So if anybody wants to buy a video card, I have a Radeon RX 580 for sale, $300.
I got $30 for it.
Oh, you're killing me. Killing me, Smalls. Killing
You've
me.
been fighting on it. What are you talking about?
It's still, do you want me to turn it on? I mean, it still runs all the graphics it's supposed to do.
You've been stressing the processor, so I mean, it's got to degrade some bit, somewhat.
Yeah, you go to the store right now, it's $500. You're getting a $200 discount.
It's a pretty good deal.
All right, moving on down. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it. Shane, you have GeoCoin or GeoCoin Cash. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. This was let me share this real quick. This was what I was trying to tell Cory about. How do I share screen?
Really? By this time, still don't know how to share your screen?
Yeah. So this was kind of similar to Ingress that we were playing a while back. We were all playing, actually. So this is kind of the map, and you can zoom in. So GeoCoin is just another coin that you can buy and trade, whatever. This is the chart for it. It's neither here nor there. But the cool thing is that you can go to different locations. You can actually collect these coins, like all over the place. So I mean, obviously, there's not enough to make it worth it right now, because how many times am I going to travel to Houston or Dallas or wherever? But this one here might be something we could do one day. Go collect this one. Oh.
So is this the same basic idea that Ingress is? You just get to the location and collect via the app somehow?
Yep. They have an app and everything. So you can go to this location, find them, and you get a piece of paper, I think it is, and you can actually send that in and get coins from them. So, and as you
That's
can see,
pretty cool.
this coin likes to pump, so it would be beneficial for some people to have this coin.
I love your screen share there. It was
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
staring at me.
Nice.
Well,
So
that looks pretty cool. I have to try that. There used to be an app on your phone years ago, and it was a Doge Make It Rain app, and you can make Doge rain. Like if I forgot it, I don't remember exactly how it worked, and it may still be out there, but like if you had Doge in your wallet and you were in like a certain vicinity, you could hit Make It Rain, and anybody else that had the app would automatically collect part of the Doge that was sent out. And you could also collect if somebody made it rain around you.
so
Just the fact that it's
augmented
called
reality.
just the
Yeah.
fact that it's called Make It Rain with Doge is the best part.
I'm gonna look that up. One other thing I was looking at before we just started this was that Walmart's got blockchain patents now, so that's something.
Yeah, we were talking about this on the way in, getting closer to live, and Walmart's been trying forever to get their own payment system, uh, just because Samsung has their own payment system, which they actually bought it from a Kickstarter project that they didn't really, whatever. Side note, but still, I love it. I use it, except for my Samsung watch. Samsung, if you're watching, fix my watch. But anyway, Google Pay. Of course, if you're a kid, it's Venmo, it's Cash App, it's PayPal, Facebook Messenger, whatever it is. You don't really actually use any other form of payment system. But Cory, are you pulling up the story about Walmart or?
No, I'm pulling up the Doge rain because that's far more important.
Go for it. Just
I'm going to download that right now.
See, you swipe up to make it rain, and other Doge just collect coins. It's that easy.
what is Doge trading at right now? Look it up on CoinMarketCap.
64 Bitcoin
It's like a half a cent.
or 64 Satoshis. It's bad that I know that.
It's like going to a strip club and throwing pennies at the ladies.
I don't make it rain, I make it hell.
That's horrible.
So you got to have at least a minimum of 10 Doge.
Oh, so you got to have 60 cents instead.
Yeah. It hadn't been updated since 2015, so use it at your own risk.
Yeah, that just sounds like a security problem. Like there's probably some sort of security patch that hasn't been touched.
Doge rain. Okay.
Oh, looks like people's been still using it. Look at this. Would give 0 stars. Won't even open.
Yeah,
Stuck in account. Won't connect. So apparently it doesn't work that well anymore. I don't know. This one person said it was a good app, but I don't know what they're doing.
Getting paid some way.
Yeah. There's shields, freaking shields.
Speaking of big companies doing their own payment system, Cory, you actually got me because we were talking about the other day. Microsoft had their spring sale, so you could buy a bunch of games for certain prices, 30, 40, 50% off, whatever. I ended up getting Forza Motorsport 7, Titanfall 2. I ended up also getting 3 months of Xbox Live for $10, but I had to trade in Bitcoin, and it was fairly annoying because it wasn't like I could just hand in the Bitcoin that I had because they don't accept Coinbase, and I had to trade into BitPay, which is annoying because anytime you move Bitcoin, you lose however many Satoshi it is, in that transaction because you're paying the miner fee and transaction fee and all that stuff. So that was a little annoying, but BitPay, when I used it, it felt almost instant going from the BitPay wallet to Microsoft because I was able to download the games fairly quickly, within, a minute or so of paying for it and then just being ready to go and then just waiting on my internet connection to download the game or whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting that BitPay, number one, is still around because BitPay has been around for so long. But it's just, I thought it was annoying to have to move everything over to BitPay. But do you guys use any other sort of pay service other than, what you have for your trading, or are you only strictly staying on trading right now?
I have Coinbase set up on my website so people can buy card game with Coinbase, and since it's through Coinbase, there's 0 transaction fees, because if it goes from one person's Coinbase to my Coinbase account, they don't charge you that. You only lose whenever you go from like an actual Bitcoin account to another Bitcoin account.
Yeah. Shane, do you use any payment systems? Do you buy anything?
I'm holding all my Bitcoin. I'm not spending it on anything.
I thought you said you traded all of it out to altcoin.
Well, yeah. I traded to altcoin so that I can bring it back for more Bitcoins. But
Okay.
I'm not spending anything anywhere right now.
Yeah, you're still on that mission to get one whole Bitcoin at some point.
Man, he was just talking about, he was like, hodling's for idiots.
No, and I'll show you why, actually.
I mean, I agree.
No, I'll show you why.
Because if you don't spend it, you don't get the usage of it.
Oh, I'll show you. All right. Here's what we're going to look at. This is BCH for me, right? So these green, well, this green line's stupid, but these green lines are my buy points, right? So as of right now, on my original buy on BCH, I am down 30, we'll call it 40%, okay? On my second buy, I am down 4.2%, right? So rather than holding this here, if I would have sold all of that way back up here somewhere and taken the loss, I could have spent all that money buying in right here when my triangle broke, and I'd be up 47% right now, rather than down by 25%.
Yeah, but you also just now recently started day trading constantly, whereas before you weren't. You just recently started doing the day trading.
Well, no, I'm back to trading. This was back in the times in January when Bitcoin and everything was moving. Like, I was trading pretty heavily then. But now that I'm kind of chilled out, or I kind of chilled out, like I was just holding everything that I had because I didn't want to sell for a loss. But sometimes selling for a loss is not a bad idea if you can kind of get an idea of the coin's going to tank by 50 or 60%, rather than holding it. It's a good idea to sell it at 10% and buy back in later when it hits bottoms.
Yeah, speaking of staking, I forgot to mention this to you guys ahead of time, and I kind of want to bring it back up because we have talked about it, because I was having problems with ARC. We have talked about this on show before, and you guys have been able to get your payments almost on a weekly basis or daily basis, I think, for Cory. But
he was getting them daily. I was getting mine every 10 days.
I was getting daily.
Yeah, and I think I remember y'all were talking about it on the way in, and I think you were talking about 15, 16 days now. You're having issues with it, but I would like you just like a real great shout out to Jen. What was the guy's name?
Jamie C.
Yeah, Jamie C79, I think, or just Jamie
Yep.
C. Yeah,
Jamie
Jamie.
C79.
So if you get into the ARC network and you talk to these people, they're really honestly willing to help. So much so, and I'll show you this because I was flabbergasted when it happened. And because I only had 3.41 ARC, what I had purchased or something a while back, and I was having problems. And I was talking to you guys about it, trying to show me how to figure out how to get it on there and get it staked and all this stuff. And so I ended up, staking one ARC coin, and it sat for like 2 months doing nothing. So I was like, okay, if I can't even get one coin to do anything, why would I do 2 or 3 or 4? But according to Jamie, I really do need to do more, but that's neither here nor there. My point is, he made the statement that, let me show you this, that, and the other, whatever, because I'll show you that money doesn't really matter to me. So he sent me literally 30, and this is going to be backwards for you guys. Yeah, he sent me 30 ARC coins. So now I have 32.41, which if you see the focus there, and I know it's backwards, but that's $109. So basically, the guy sent me $100 just for just for giggles, just to prove that he was just trying to help out and he didn't want me to lose out on anything. So I need to get back with you guys on staking again because I mean, the guy gave it to me, so I want to put back into the system to make it more. So interesting. Just join the Slack channel with Ark and talk to those guys if you have questions. I still honestly have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm going to learn as much as I can from the Slack channel and from these guys to try to figure it out, and probably you guys teaching me just as well. So how's your guys' Ark doing?
Not as good as yours, apparently.
Yeah, you suck, Rusty.
I didn't go into a Slack channel and pretend I'm a dumbass like you. I only have one Ark. Can I have more, please?
I want to clarify. I didn't ask for it. I was just like, explain to me the process as to how this happens. Tell me what I need to do. Why is my one Ark not doing anything? And just tell me what's going on. And then
Oh man, that's great. Well, but I haven't got a payout in the last little bit. But I'm wondering if they're just changing like how often they're paying out. I want to say I heard somebody saying that they only pay, what is it, 0.5?
Well, it depends on who your delegate is.
Oh, okay.
So
well, I'll have to look that up. But I was getting paid out every 10 days, but I guess they're going to do payouts at other times now.
So you may need to go talk to your delegate and ask them, see if they'll give you some free Ark.
Yeah. Hey, Jarnook.
But I actually talked to Jamie as well, and I didn't get so when my Ark stopped paying out daily, I said, whoa, wait a minute, did I break something? And I went and talked to him, and he gave me not nearly 30, but like 0.19 Arks. So I transferred. You have to keep one Ark on the system, so I transferred the other 0.099999 to my wallet, and it's now running. But I ended up buying some more Ark, 329, and I'm still not. It's not impressive right now, but I finally got a payout, and Jamie actually changed the payout to 0.2. So it was just whatever you get per day, you get a payout. But now he's changed it to 0.2. So once you get 0.2 cash, then it will send it over to your wallet.
And that's the thing with all of these coins, no matter whether you're staking, whether you're mining or cloud mining, which that's another thing that I'm doing is the cloud mining through Genesis, which is a pain in my rear end because, and I shouldn't say pain. It's not really. I mean, like every 3 or 4 days, I get a Zcash. I get a Zcash payout of like 0.01 or 0.009, something like that. And then I still haven't got a payout from the Ethereum contract, but I will say, I think it told me right up front, it was going to be like 200 days before I ever saw my first payout, but they've also changed the cash out rate from like 0.05 to 0.1. So it's going to be even longer now. I think, maybe 400 days, maybe a little over a year before I see it. So it'll be interesting to see, because it may just be that, like you were talking about, that, video card mining is just not where it's at. So cloud mining through Genesis may not be where it's at, though they did go through and open up in March, or like late February, early March, new contracts for Ethereum mining, but they wanted a minimum of 1,500 USD. So I was like, no, I'm already too deep as it is with everything else.
So it looks like my guy's going to be paying out 0.1. I just looked that up. So I get about 0.05 every 10 days or so. So I should be getting another payout pretty soon.
So Rusty, what do you have staking? 31?
32.41, or I don't have anything staking right now except for that one. I just have these others sitting in my wallet.
Okay, well, we'll use mine then.
Well, you can put in if you're trying to figure it out, like what you're going to get. I mean, just going from the calculator, yep. You should be getting a month. You should get 0.27 monthly out of that, approximately. between 0.24 and or point. Well, I guess it depends on who your person is.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other thing is their rates are different, and that's why they're rated 1 through whatever, because their payouts are different, their limits are different. Each one of them have different reasons as to why they're a delegate.
Jamie C. If you pick Jamie C., which I think you probably should since he helped you, he's going to pay you 0.24 every month.
0.24. Well, it depends on how much you have. Like, so I've been getting a payout every 34 days right now, based off of rough calculations. So it's not bad, but the payout of 0.02, with a payout of 0.2 every month, like it's not really worth it to sit here and keep waiting on it. Might as well buy more, put more in there, and let it gain faster.
Yeah, that's the only thing is like, so when I'm in here, so there's Jamie right there, and if I click on him, I can only vote, or I can only unvote. I can't vote anymore, so I'll have to get back with you guys off air to figure out what I need to do.
If you put those coins in your wallet, it should automatically be staking them. Or it should already be delegated to the delegate so they can do whatever with them.
I'll verify that with you guys offline. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Speaking of offline, we got anything else much we're talking about, or are we going to be going offline ourselves soon?
I'm good. I think we covered pretty much everything that we've missed over the last little, foray. I do want to make sure that in case you watched the last episode and didn't understand, it was an April Fool's joke. Though Shane did go on a pilgrimage. That was not a lie.
Yeah, no, I did. But it wasn't a pilgrimage. It was just I had things to do. I was traveling. I was back one day, but I was hungover, and I thought that wouldn't be very professional, so I didn't get on the video.
You were on a pilgrimage. Shut up. But obviously that was the reason why I titled it "There Were Never Any Stocks," because we didn't get back into stocks.
Well, I did. I'm still buying stocks.
You suck, Cory.
You got to diversify, man.
Well, yes, he makes a very, very great, valid point. Yes, absolutely. I just don't have any money in stocks, so though I am getting like this one guy apparently has.
You got acorns, man. You got acorns.
Oh, well, that's not me actually having stock. That's me putting into a portfolio in which they do all that for me. So I don't.
Dude, that's stocks.
Yeah, for retirement.
Also, same thing. 401k doesn't really count.
It's my money, but it's not really my money. Government's going to take it anyway.
Stocks.
Well, either way,
all right. Let me ask you this: What if somebody was like, "Hey, Rusty, we got this Bitcoin 401k we're setting up. Where we're going to take all your money and we're going to put it in cryptocurrencies." But it's just like 401k, and we're going to invest all your money, and we're going to give you back a little bit of it over time. So you want to do that? Is that not the same thing, but with cryptocurrency?
True, and those already exist. I hear your point. Yes, it's the same thing, but I'm just saying I'm not the direct purchaser. I'm not the one making the call to E-Trade or I can't even remember the rest of them. Whatever.
Robinhood.
Well, whatever, I'm not the one doing the pressing of here, buy at this level or, doing wherever. Whereas with crypto, I'm the one actually making the trades at whatever price.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to buy options right now on Robinhood, trying to figure all that crap out.
Did they just push an update, by the way? It was pretty big.
Yeah. The options thing is pretty new. That's been going on.
An update. So they have the web option now. So you can.
Oh yeah. And it's really nice. Like you can go on there and you can see whether or not you should buy something. Like they have like their to buy thing at 78% or 99% goodbye or sell or whatever,
Yeah, well, I got a share of Sprint when I started that, and Sprint's going out of business. So
you got free Sprint?
T-Mobile's buying Sprint. T-Mobile's buying Sprint.
But
I got free
T-Mobile. It's not.
I got like Zynga. that Facebook bullshit gaming stuff. That's what I got for free.
I had a buddy who said he got a stock of AMD.
Really?
Yep.
Man, that's lucky.
Yeah.
You know what you need a stock of is Amazon, because apparently we were talking about that too. Apparently they're getting into cryptocurrency.
Yes.
Surprise,
surprise.
They've already got the network built, though. I mean, look at their AWS. I mean, they've got the network. All they got to do is install some software, run some scripts, and boom, they're up and running.
They also have a monopoly. But
yeah. Either way, yeah, I agree, Corey. Unless anybody else has any other last minute stories, anything else?
One more thing. So what we've been talking about today, it all kind of sums up into, we're now moving to the adoption phase where we're actually taking blockchains and using them for things. Like the company that I work for, I was sitting in a meeting 3 weeks ago, and one of their little bubbles was blockchain technology. And I work with a well-known switchgear and switchboard company. So we design infrastructure, or we design switchgear for different companies. And the idea behind, there was an article in the news about SCADA systems and stuff, and how all that's, Russia's putting malware in SCADA systems. So the idea is that we can move to blockchain for that and not have to worry about the Russians and stuff, supposedly. But we're in the adoption phase where all these things are starting to come out now. All these different apps are coming out. We're actually able to touch them and use them in our daily lives. So, Steam, Arc, Zencash, Substratum, whatever you want to look at, like we're getting to the point where we're starting to use things. So now is kind of the exciting time, not just for the money aspect of it, because obviously graphs are looking good, charts are moving up, but
god dang notifications.
Yeah, well, all these charts and graphs are moving up, and the money aspect is nice, but once you can start playing with this technology, once you can start holding it every day, like this is what blockchain's for. So it's getting exciting.
Yeah,
if you just look at charts, you're missing out, because there's so much more to blockchain than just making money. That's amazing.
Yeah, and I do want to, if you get a chance, because I was talking to somebody earlier today, I was doing an interview, because I'm also in the middle of a 30-day video live streaming challenge where we do a live stream every single day. And yesterday's challenge, which I didn't get to until today, was to do an interview, and someone interviewed me about cryptocurrency. And so obviously I talked about our show and things like that. So one of their things was, well, isn't cryptocurrency dead? And I'm like, no, think of it more like the .com bubble that was back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where we've had the bubble has popped, because now all the national media, you don't hear about cryptocurrency in the national news anymore. It's now back to the geeks and the nerds and the passionate ones and the ones who are still here for the reason of being here and wanting to further the technology and everything that is cryptocurrency. So now it's going to be just like the internet was. Yeah, we had the bubble pop, but the internet rode out that wave, and look at where we are now with the internet. I think that's exactly where we are now with cryptocurrency is, yeah, the bubble popped and it's no longer $20,000 for a Bitcoin, but we're back to close to being 10 grand for Bitcoin, and everything else is on the rise up for altcoins. So I think that's where we're at, is we're on the other side of the bubble pop, and we're going to move forward from here. So if you get a chance, and Shane, I think you made a very valid point. You guys and anybody watching this, go check out Cold Fusion's Blockchain is Taking Over. It's about a 16-minute, 31-second video. Here's the thumbnail. Let's see, right. Hopefully the focus will catch, maybe.
Yeah, I got you.
But Blockchain is Taking Over by Cold Fusion. Go check that video out. Yeah, blockchain is starting to take over a lot of things, whether it's the health industry. We've talked about it before, taking over the health records for everyone. Taking over Uber and Lyft, because Uber and Lyft are the mediators between two passengers. What if we remove Uber and Lyft and you just have the passengers find each other, a driver and a passenger find each other without having to have Uber and Lyft, and then they trust each other because of the identity with everything is set into cryptocurrency and the blockchain. So
KYC.
Exactly. So
and you have to have someone that has a blockchain for KYC.
So interesting to say the least. The next 10 years are going to be crazy, I think. We'll see what happens. But
even looking at prices, like anybody that says that it's crashed, I mean, yeah, it went back down, but I mean, it still didn't go down to like what stocks did back in 2008. I mean, I had freaking Bank of America stock that I was buying at like $50 a share, and it went down to like $5 a share, which is not, I mean, that's crazy. And the whole freaking stock, like everything went down. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, what happened to it this year? Yeah, it in October it was trading around like $6,000. In December it was around 20,000, and now it went all the way back down to around 6,000. But that was like a 6-month period, and it's already recovering. And then if you look at it this time last year, this time last year it was like booming, but like at the beginning of the year, like around January, Bitcoin was trading like what, $1,200? It was less than that, maybe.
Yeah, and now it's already at 8,000 or a little over 8,000, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, it's so. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Bitcoin's at 8.8 right now, $8,800, and it's hitting a line of resistance, so it might fall a little bit at 9,000. Or the 9,000 line is kind of critical for charts right now, but. I don't want to call it a bubble because we don't know like what Bitcoin's going to do. Like Bitcoin, I mean, there's enough exuberance out there right now. I think what's happened is that people have been waiting for crypto to take off again. They've been like everybody's holding all these coins and they want them to move, and then when Bitcoin makes one little leap, everyone says, "All right, I'm back in." That's why the market cap has gone up by $100 billion in the past week and a half. Like, there's money ready to go. So
everybody got their taxes back.
Exactly. I don't want to call it a bubble because I still don't believe that it was a bubble. Sure, it was overpriced for a little while, but we don't know what the true value of Bitcoin is, so we can't say that it was overpriced.
All right, I'll take you at that. I was just saying bubble because as far as someone outside of our network can remember what the .com bubble was, and remember that we all saw businesses come in really hot and then never show up again, but the internet continued on. And that's what I'm comparing it to, is that the media came to us and was like, it was the hot topic all the way through December. And then now no one talks about it. And we've, if you look at any of my circles and our chats, they've been a lot less in the last 2 to 3 months than what they were back in November, December. So, I mean, we've even internally been less. So I think it's interesting that I think this is where we start seeing, people start getting back into it, and we just get that momentum going. And this time, instead of being this huge rush, we're going to get a very good slow momentum, and we're going to move forward with it.
We'll see. I have a feeling. It's scary to think, but I have a feeling with the way things are lining up, Bitcoin can go back to 20 grand easy. It won't take very long, but that's my personal opinion. I think if we cross 9,000, we're going to 11,000 pretty quickly.
Cool.
But we do need to see some slow movement, some nice. Well, maybe we don't. Maybe we go to 20 grand and just flip flop there for a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
People are saying
it gets past. Go ahead.
$250,000 by 2020 or whatever.
As long as it passes 14 grand again, I can get my my mother off my back because I got her to buy in at 14,000.
As long as I have more Bitcoin than you, whenever we start using Bitcoin daily, I'll be happy.
Oh man, calling me out already. So,
well, not you. I mean, like I was pointing at the camera, like you, everyone else.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, that it, everybody.
Yeah.
Shane.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it. Another episode is in the can for Cryptosis. If you hung out with us, you know what we didn't do this time, and we totally missed out, was chat. I didn't even.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you were watching chat, we completely missed that.
Hard.
Yeah, that's
Rusty.
Yeah.
Oh, Rusty was in there. I looked at it briefly.
Okay.
Liar.
No, I looked at it. There's nothing there.
Well, as the host, I was supposed to keep an eye on that, and I did not. So, but if you're watching the replay of this, we appreciate you sticking around for about an hour. We like to try to keep it under an hour because an hour is a lot of your time, a lot of our time, and apparently Shane makes a lot of money in 4 hours. So taking away an hour of his time is taking away money. So.
Oh well, YouTube's got chat replay now, but I'm gonna take our video, put it on DTube, and you see if you can rip the audio, and we can put it on our other thing. And
Okay.
my girlfriend's calling, so I'm gonna hop off of here. All right.
All right, guys, and
Okay,
we'll
bye.
see you.